having an amazing halfway to October month. I know I am. You know, I'm enjoying it maybe a little too much. Anyways, we're sitting here in front of the halfway to Halloween mantle, and I'm apparently flying away, everybody. Obviously, I'm way overexcited. Anytime we're talking about Halloween, I am the most excited, especially this video. This is my favorite video to do every single year because I love sitting down and nerding out about Halloween and what's to come. Today, we're doing exactly that. Today, we are doing our annual Halloween shopping guide where we talk about when we're gonna see Halloween come out in stores and where we're gonna see it. I'm gonna include both online and in stores. So I said in stores, but I meant like when stores are gonna put out Halloween. So that could be online, that could be in store. I'm gonna talk about all of it. And this year, it's gonna be totally different because we're already seeing a full-blown summerween season happening. And it's just starting, but I'm gonna give my predictions on that. So really, this is a whole video on predictions of when Halloween's coming out, where it's coming out, based on, I went through notes in my phone from last year, I went through old videos, I went through the Facebook group, I went through just some good old-fashioned Googling, went back to websites to see what they have on there now, when they posted things and like had their launches. So I'm gonna go month by month and talk about which stores I think will be putting out Halloween that month, both online, in store. So some stores will have a couple of different months. One will be an online release, one will be in store. So that way, no matter where you're at in your Halloween collecting or Halloween decor journey, whether you just got your first place and you're looking to buy some of your first Halloween pieces, or you've been a collector for many years, or maybe you're not shopping this year, you're just wanting to know where to get the Halloween vibes. If you're like me and it's summer and it's hot and you're feeling like you're wilting a little bit inside, sometimes stepping into a Halloween world just makes my soul so happy. It's just a little pick-me-up. So whether you're shopping or you're not shopping, or you just love Halloween in general and you just want to jab your jaws about all things Halloween with me, you're in the right place. So sit back, relax, grab a spooky beverage. Let's hang out and talk about all the Halloween things. Here we go. Let's get into this. Where's my list, everybody? Let's get my list. All right, so I have a full list. When I say I nerd out about this, I really nerd out about it. I get so excited. But I have a list. Some of these stores have specific dates from last year. Some actually have specific dates of launches that we know about this year that are coming. And then otherwise I have a date range of when I think they could come out, or just a general time frame. And then also, of course, I want to mention this before we even get into this, there are stores that have Halloween out all year round. So you have Etsy shops, of course, always check those for just all year round Halloween decor if you're looking for it, or unique one-of-a-kind pieces. Also, of course, thrift stores, your local thrift store, sometimes will have, usually around here, they start putting out more Halloween around Halloween time, but they will have little bits of Halloween throughout the year. So worth checking thrift stores. Sometimes I know locally people have been mentioning swap meets and flea markets that will be specifically centered around halfway to Halloween and things like that. And some of them aren't specifically centered, but you can still find Halloween pieces just in general at flea markets and local swap meets and those types of things. So worth checking out if you're looking for things on the off season, although we're pretty much getting into the on season. It is almost full blown. Like, we've seen some real code oranges out there. And of course, estate sales, garage sales. Definitely check all those things if you're looking, especially the vintage, like the unique Halloween stuff. You can find some spooky goods. And then of course, online, there are places like Spirit Halloween, Oriental Trading, Christmas Traditions, Grandin Road. Those places always have at least some Halloween on their website all year round, but they do get newer stuff as the season progresses. I do think Oriental Trading and Spirit Halloween, though, they're getting their Summerween stuff in now as well. That's all newer, so that's worth checking. But that will lead us into the full-blown list, because we're gonna start there, not just with Summerween, because we've got a couple of Halloween launches coming in too, but I'm starting with April, which I cannot believe I'm starting with April. This is the first year I feel like I can officially give some sort of code orange or some sort of something, offer some sort of Halloween, some sort of activity, actually a lot more activity in April. Usually we have to wait until end of May into June, usually into June, to see some real I'm gonna call it paranormal activity. So the fact that we're getting Summerween this year as a separate line and not just all meshed together like last year is giving our list a boost. Like everything is getting bumped up a little bit earlier because of Summerween. Well, not everything. I think Halloween is still gonna come out at the same time. Maybe some stores will come out a little bit earlier just to get that spooky coin. But I think for the most part, Summerween will be a lot of the earlier stuff we see, and then Halloween will kind of stay on their time frame. But that's besides what. I'll get into that as we. Now I'm just jabbing my jaws, everyone. Okay, here we go. Let's get, you're probably like, Ghoul, get into it already. Okay, we're getting into it. Okay, so for April, I have Home Depot, which their code orange was a couple weeks ago. They put out a whole little halfway to Halloween animatronic line, and they had some of their Halloween animatronics early, but not the full collection. So we did see a release from Home Depot in April, and I'll mention Home Depot again as we get into this list, but what the heck was that? And just in general, keep your eyes peeled for Home Depot, because I have a feeling they're gonna keep doing releases, because even though they don't come out with their stuff until like in store until basically September, they really like to hone in on the online releases. And I'll talk about that more as we get into this. And while I'm talking about early Halloween releases and not just Summerween, Lowe's, they're coming out with, we just talked about this if you watched my shorts, and or TikTok and or my Instagram reels. We talked about Lowe's, and Lowe's is having their whole Halloween collection released online on April 30th. So we'll be diving into that. You know, we'll be doing a code orange and talk about what we see, like what they're offering, and we're gonna nerd out about it. But April 30th for Lowe's, they're doing an online launch, and then we'll loop back around to Lowe's for in-store here in a bit. All right, I'm gonna switch gears really quickly into Summerween, because this year is the first year we're seeing a full-blown Summerween, like Summerween separate from Halloween. So I'm glad Summerween is getting its own moment. Plus, if I wanna put out a couple of things for Summerween, I wanna put them out before Memorial Day. You know what I mean? Like I want it out for the summer, not late in the summer. I'm already in Halloween mode by then. Okay, well, who am I kidding? I'm always in Halloween mode, but you know what I mean. Summerween mode is out the door. Okay, so we've got Kirkland's Summerween online right now. Every day I'm seeing a little bit of something new added to Kirkland's. I just searched for Summerween up in their little search bar, and usually I'll see a little bit of something new coming out every day on Kirkland's. But we also have Five Below has a couple of Summerween pieces. I think I saw a towel and a pool float. So I don't know if they have more planned as we get into May, but my guess is they probably do. I don't know why they wouldn't. So let's keep our eyes peeled for Five Below. Also Spencer's and Spirit Halloween online. They have some Summerween things. Some of the Summerween things, this is why I haven't really covered it quite yet. I didn't do a proper code orange for it because I wasn't sure. A lot of the Summerween things that I'm seeing on there, I saw last year at Spirit Halloween. So I don't know if this is carrying over or if it's a whole brand new line. I'm not sure yet. So I didn't do a full-blown code orange because I didn't see a lot of new stuff. But they do have some Summerween things, some of the things we saw last year over on Spencer's and Spirit Halloween websites. And I'll keep them in the back of my mind, and I'm going to carry over Kirkland's and Spirit and Spencer's, and who else is doing Summerween? Five Below. I'm going to carry them all into May. So just a recap of April, because we just jabbed our jaws a whole lot. I have Home Depot and Lowe's online. Lowe's is coming up here April 30th. It hasn't happened yet. And then that's the Halloween stuff. For Summerween, I've got Kirkland's online, Five Below in store and online as well, and Spencer's and Spirit Halloween online. So anyways, I'm gonna carry some of the Summerween stuff into May, and I think that's it for April because, well, I don't know. Summerween is so new that I don't have a lot of information to pull from in my brain or in my database of Halloween information, because we really don't, like last year I feel like was the first real year that we saw Summerween, and it was kind of just smashed into Halloween in general. So we don't really, I don't know, all of this is new. When they're gonna put it out, who knows? We might get a surprise here and there, I'm sure this year, which you know I love. I love a good spooky surprise, so I'm not even mad at it. So anyways, moving on to May. Let's jump right into May. For May, once again, I have Kirkland's. Okay, Kirkland's in store. So I haven't seen a Kirkland's that has their Summerween stuff in store yet. And I think that might be because I did see somebody, an insider, talking about how the summerween stuff was on the truck. The trucks were coming in this week with summerween. So if they're coming in this week with summerween, then they could be, I mean, the stores could put it out as soon as next week. But my store, when I went to go type it in, because I typed it in for store pickup, it said available in store for pickup May 13th. So, but then I saw somebody else mention when they looked at their store pickup, it was May 8th. So I think it could be any time from really here on out, we could see summerween in Kirkland stores. But I'm wondering if they're gonna get more summerween in, like they have more trucks coming. So I wonder if they're gonna wait until they have the whole collection to put out or what they're doing. I don't know. But I would say beginning to mid-May, we'll see Kirkland's having summerween out in stores. So you know we're gonna do some summerween decor hunting and go check it out in the flesh. Also for May, I'm gonna put Ross in here because I saw somebody posting about a reusable bag. I could put this in April, but I didn't see it out yet. So I don't know if they're supposed to be out. You could start checking now because I think they're gonna put out some summerween stuff. Even if it's just a reusable bag, it's summerween and it counts, and we're gonna go hunting for it. So I'm gonna put it on here. And I know some of you out there are gonna be like, well, I don't even wanna hear about summerween. But summerween is definitely part of the conversation this year and worth mentioning because some of the things might be in your face summerween and some of the things might just be like Halloween beach towels, which I definitely want one of those, and that's why I want to mention this one next. So TJ Maxx last year came out with Halloween beach towels. I never saw them in the flesh. You know we hunted for those. We hunted all the way until the end for those and never saw them. But I have May 27th last year is when those beach towels appeared at TJ Maxx. So you know I'm gonna be out there hunting for them. So end of May, I think it could be maybe earlier than that. I think it could be any time at TJ Maxx. We could see, because we're seeing summerween earlier this year. I think anytime. As soon as you start seeing beach towels at TJ Maxx, I think these could make an appearance. I also wouldn't put it past them to do some tea towels or some like little summerween things here and there. So we're gonna start checking TJ Maxx immediately. And it's April. But I'm putting this in May because I don't think it's going to happen until May, but it could happen at any time. So that's summerween really is all bets are off. Who knows when they're putting stuff out? Who knows who is putting stuff out? Nobody knows. So we're totally winging it when it comes to summerween this year, but I do have some accurate information about Halloween. All right, so for the Halloween goods though for May, I have Cracker Barrel. May 13th last year, they did their big online launch where they put, or maybe they just started sprinkling it out. I don't know, but that's when we started seeing Halloween online on Cracker Barrel was May 13th. So anywhere, I mean, I'll probably start stocking it early, but anywhere near or around middle of May for Cracker Barrel, I wonder if they're gonna do Summerween. They're usually on top of it. Even if it's a Summerween salt and pepper shaker thing or something. I feel like they're gonna do something with Summerween, but maybe not. But either way, full-blown Halloween, online Cracker Barrel May 13th. I'll talk about in-store, that's usually a little bit later, but they usually have some sort of May online launch. So keep your eyes peeled for that May. And I also have Michael's Spooky Town. So I almost forgot about this, but last year, if you remember, Michael's, it was around the same time as Cracker Barrel putting their online stuff out. Michael's started, they did it like an online launch of their Michael's exclusive Spooky Town stuff. And they'd gotten it in stores, but they were only offering store pickup. So they didn't have it on the floor, they didn't have the display out, but you could actually go pick up your Spooky Town. It was, when was it? Do I have it? Mid to end of May, it says. I think I was seeing it all across the board as far as dates go. Some people's stores got it middle of May, some people's stores had it end of May, and some people's stores weren't even releasing it for store pickup until later because it kind of turned into kind of a, I guess, a cluster F, everybody. So I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on this because I cannot wait to see the Michael's exclusives for Spooky Town this year, or Spooky Town, Michael's exclusive, whatever they are. Whatever they are, I can't wait to see them. Also, I have Pottery Barn online. They released some of their stuff last year, May 24th. And I don't know if it was the whole collection. Places like Pottery Barn, it seems like they put out a little bit of their collection and then they slowly add to it, and you see newer stuff being added to the website as the season progresses, which a lot of places kind of do that. But I have May 24th of last year is when they first did their little online launch or a little announcement on their social media. And also there was a Target online drop at the end of May last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if some summerween is added to that. I would love to see the jack-o'-lantern little fruits coming back this year that they did. Was it 2018 or 2019 when they did the little fruits with the jack-o'-lantern faces? I would love to see that again. And then I know some of the stuff ships out, and then some of the stuff you can't get till August. And with Target is super unpredictable, I feel like, because every year is something a little different. They used to be a later in the year store, so they'd have an August drop, and then they would put stuff out in stores after Labor Day, after back to school stuff was all cleared out. So they were kind of a later store, but now they've been doing especially online releases earlier. So they had an online drop at the end of May last year. And sometimes what they'll do is like, they'll do an early drop and then it doesn't ship out until later. I wouldn't even put it past them to add some summerween into this launch this year. So I do think another end of May Target drop is absolutely practical this year. And I'm also gonna put Walmart in here because last year they did a summerween. They had some summerween blankets, some summerween clothing. I'm gonna put end of May into June because I think these stores are catching on to summerween. They're seeing that energy there. So I think Target, Walmart, online especially, but also some things in store like blankets and maybe a couple of pillows or a couple of figurines. Not full-blown aisles of summerween or anything. And then I do think Target will put some of their hide and eek out at the end of May as well, or even some Halloween pre-orders like they've done in the past. So I think we'll keep an eye on Target and Walmart towards the end of May just in general for summerween, and Target for Halloween in general online drops. So let's do a recap of May since that was a total disaster. So for summerween in May, we have Kirkland's beginning of May in store. Also Kirkland's summerween online, continuation. Five Below summerween, also into May. Spencer's and Spirit Halloween, their summerween stuff coming into May. And Ross summerween, TJ Maxx, I'm putting them on the radar for summerween, especially for those beach towels, hand towels, those types of things, and just in general. We also have Walmart. I think we're gonna see some summerween, possibly in May. That's a big maybe, but we should be stocking them regardless. And pretty much anywhere and everywhere for summerween in May. Because I have no idea when summerween is coming out. We have no idea. But for Halloween, we've got Cracker Barrel online launch mid-May or early to mid-May. We've got Michael's Spooky Town and Pottery Barn online. We're either gonna get a release or a pre-order or some sort of sneak peek or something like that from Pottery Barn at the end of May. And then also a Target Halloween online drop. Also for May, I'm gonna put TJ Maxx and Marshall's online for summerween items. And then I also think we'll see some in stores as well at the end of May. And I know some people are gonna be like, what about at home? At home, I think they're gonna do some sort of sneak peek or announcement, probably halfway to Halloween, April 30th or May 1st, May 2nd, something around there. They're gonna do some sort of announcement, or they'll have some previews on their website. But I know this trickery from at home. You play that trick or treat game at home, you do. They don't put stuff out in my area until July. But they could add some summerween gnomes to the lineup. You never know, everybody, when it comes to at gnome. So I don't know, gnome. I don't know what they're gonna do, but at home is probably gonna do some sort of sneak peek. So I didn't mention at gnome at the beginning of May because I don't think we're gonna actually be able to buy anything or see anything in stores until, I'll tell you here in a minute, probably June or July. But like I mentioned, if they wanna throw in a summerween gnome, that might be, I'd call Code Orange for it. So I don't know. Anyways, we just went on a whole rant about at gnome, but I think that's it for May. May is gonna be kind of unpredictable. I'm really excited about that fact. The fact that we have no idea what's coming in May. Is it summerween? Is it Halloween? Is it both? Is it I don't know, is it available for purchase? Is it a sneak peek? Is it online? Is it in stores? I feel like May has endless spooky possibilities, which gets me the most excited. I feel like May might be the most fun for Halloween hunting this year alone because you have no idea what you're gonna see. Like, are you gonna see something? Are you not gonna see something? We don't know. We don't know. All right, so moving on to June, we have a continuation of Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Home Goods. Their summerween stuff will be coming out in June, online and in store. I'm gonna predict that, but definitely online, but I think also in store. And then also for June, I think we're gonna see Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, definitely online. We're gonna see Halloween. Then we're gonna start seeing Halloween sprinkling into the stores as well. But I think that's gonna be closer to after 4th of July, we're gonna see major Halloween coming into Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls in stores. Before that, I think it'll sprinkle in and then start kind of phasing out the summerween or clearancing out summerween and getting in more Halloween. But either way, in June, we're gonna see code oranges at Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls in store. We're gonna see at least, I don't even know what we wanna call summerween. Is it gonna be a different code orange? Code skeleton flamingo? I don't know what it should be called. I feel like it needs to be separate because I know people looking for in your face Halloween, it's very different when you're looking for Halloween or dark decor for your home versus if you're looking for summerween. Those are two different, for me in my mind at least, two totally different mindsets. Like if I'm seeing a code orange and it's gothic, dark Halloween decor, I'm like, it's like a different feeling in my brain than seeing a skeleton floating on a flamingo. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone else feels that way. Let me know in the comments. Last June, Bath & Body Works had a preview. Their Halloween preview was June 1st last year, where they showed a little sneak peek of what's to come. So that was June 1st. So it could be into May. It could be June. Who knows? Are they doing summerween? We don't know. It's another unpredictable one. But there's no doubt in my mind that Bath & Body Works, I feel like they definitely saw that summerween energy last year when they put out that pastel collection. And a lot of people thought the pastel collection was summerween and they were still gonna do a whole Halloween collection, but it ended up just being their Halloween collection. So I do think they saw that energy. They did a little bit of the ice cream float thing that was a little more summerweeny, but I think they're gonna do, I don't know what they're gonna do for summerween, but I'm excited to see it. I hope they put out a little something. So I talked about the Bath & Body Works, their preview in early June, but they did a TikTok exclusive June 24th of last year where they released a little bundle. It was that ice cream float bundle, and then they had this cute little frog witch little pocket bag holder that came with the set. That was a TikTok exclusive. That was June 24th of last year. So I think they're gonna do something similar this year. Speaking of Bath & Body Works, I have round one Halloween at Bath & Body Works for app members. So if you have the app, they had their Halloween release on the app on June 30th of last year. And so then I looked at years past, and it looks like the Bath & Body Works members launch, like their app member launch, is usually before 4th of July, but in store is usually always after 4th of July. So anytime, I would say late June, early July. I want to say it's going to be late June. So keep your eyes peeled on the app in June because they'll announce it before they do it. I also have At Home here in June. I know a lot of at-home stores start putting out Halloween in June, like their full-blown Halloween line. It usually comes in phases, so they'll put a whole bunch out in June, then they'll continue to put stuff out, and then you get like another surge in August. So they do seem to have, like they slowly add to the collection over time. Like I usually don't see a full at-home collection right away. They slowly put it out. But if they do Summerween this year, I do think we're definitely gonna see Summerween at home in June this year. And even the stores that are slow to put stuff out, they'll put their Summerween stuff out in June. But my local at home usually doesn't start putting stuff out till after 4th of July lately. It's so late. But just in general, I'm gonna put at home in June because most stores start getting stuff out. At least they start sprinkling it out in June. I think even my local store at the very, very tail end of June put a couple things out. All right, also Anthropologie, West Elm, Williams-Sonoma, Pottery Barn. Usually you start seeing, I already mentioned Pottery Barn, but usually the other ones start putting stuff out in June. I'm showing June 18th, June 21st, June 21st. So around mid to end of June, we'll see Anthropologie, West Elm, Williams-Sonoma. Probably another round of things coming in from Pottery Barn because they kind of put a couple things out early and then they sprinkle in. Like I think the witches came in. They didn't come in right away, I don't believe. I think they came in a little bit after. So I think in June, we'll just see more things added online. Also, Michael's round 1 in mid-June. So last year, if you remember, there was that whole pink, like hot pink line, and they had that in-your-face Halloween line that they put out at Michael's last year in mid-June. It looked very summer-weeny, but it wasn't exclusively summerween. They had some other just in general Halloween lines in there. So that was mid-June. I think they're gonna do another line like that. I wouldn't be surprised if it is full-blown summerween though this year, like very in-your-face summerween for a Michael's mid-June launch. And then I'll get back to Michael's because then they'll put out their floral stuff, then and wreath stuff, then and like pottery, and then they'll put out their full line. So that will be coming on. But I think this is the next round. I kind of love how Michael's does this because they keep luring us in. They lure us in with a spooky town in May, and then they bring us back in begging for more for whatever June launch, and then for even more in July and August. They keep us coming back for more throughout the season, which I kind of love. Anyways, so that's Michael's. Mid-June is that first line. I don't know. I think it's going to be Summerween if I have to guess, and or just a Halloween in your face, a cutesy line, but I think it's going to be Summerween if I have to guess. Okay. Also, and I'm also seeing Kohl's. They had some Summerween items at the end of June last year, so I wouldn't put it past Kohl's either to do a whole Summerween little collection thing. So look for that at Kohl's in June as well. And then I have Walmart for June as well. So I think I mentioned Walmart in May because I think it could possibly happen, especially online for their Summerween blankets and pillows or whatever Summerween little items they have. I think they could do an online launch in May especially. But if they don't do it in May, they're going to do it in June. And then they're also going to have their Summerween blankets and stuff earlier in the month of June. And then they're going to have the full-blown Summerween like in their little dollar section and their little other areas. End of June or July. But I think it might be after. They might have to wait to clear out 4th of July. That's the one thing that's standing in my way in June. For the stores that have a lot of 4th of July and they kind of use entire sections for 4th of July like Walmart, I don't know that they're going to put out Summerween before that. But see, for me, I know some stores were, because I remember I was looking for the inflatable cooler, the inflatable watermelon cooler for 4th of July because I wanted to bring it to my cookout. And I don't think I found it before 4th of July. I think I found it after. And so I think for some of these stores, it just depends on how much space your store has and how much is sold, like how much of the 4th of July stuff is sold, and they can put some new stuff out. But in my area, I feel like it didn't come out till after the 4th. So I think that we're going to run into a little bit of that, but the blankets and the cute little Summerween blankets, I never saw it in store in general, but I saw that they came out mid-June for a lot of people. So, but I think they're going to be online earlier. So we're winging it once again with Summerween. We're summer winging it, everybody. We don't even know what's happening. I don't know how to predict Summerween. I'm kind of lost, but also really excited about that fact. So anyway. Okay. Also, Costco, end of June for big animatronics. So their big groundbreaking skeleton last year was end of June, but then they didn't get their Halloween stuff until July. So keep your eyes peeled. If you're looking for the big animatronics at Costco, keep your eyes peeled in June because I do think they're going to have an announcement for that. Let's do a breakdown of June. Here we go, everybody. We've got Bath & Body Works June preview at the beginning of June. Then Bath & Body Works, we've got a possible TikTok exclusive happening towards middle to end of June. And then the very end of June, possibly early July, but could be end of June, their members app exclusive launch for all things Halloween. And then, it's gonna be the first round of Halloween for app members. Also early June, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Summerween stuff should be in full swing, definitely online, but also in stores. At home, we're gonna start seeing Halloween coming in, Summerween coming in if they're doing Summerween. Anthropology, West Elm, Williams Sonoma, all the, I'm just gonna put fancy stores. The fancy stores are gonna get their Halloween in online in mid-June, mid to end of June, but I think it's gonna be mid-June. Also, Michael's round 1, so it could be summerween, could just be cutesy stuff. Definitely Spooky Town in there. They're gonna put Spooky Town on the floor. That's mid-June. Also, Kohl's Summerween in June at any point. Any point in June. They did end of June last year. I think they could bump that up. Walmart, Summerween at Walmart. Some stores are going to start getting it in June. Some stores I think are going to be after 4th of July. That's my prediction on Walmart. And then also Costco, end of June for big animatronics. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And then I think that's it for June. So moving on to July. So for July, we have a lot of continuation from the other stores. Pretty much everything we mentioned before, continuing on into July. Then also, I'm gonna say continuation, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. We're gonna see prime time in July. I feel like July is the best time for Home Goods. I think we're gonna see the most overlap of Summerween and Halloween during July at Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. But I think we're also gonna see prime time Halloween at Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls in July. So we're gonna see some prime time there. So that's the time to really start going to Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls for Halloween and not just Summerween. I also have new Grandin Road stuff. So Grandin Road usually has Halloween up all year round, but there are new stuff I have after the 4th of July. So last year it was July 8th when they put out their online Halloween release. But I wouldn't put it past them to do Summerween. I have that in my notes as well. I do think they could do some cool Summerween stuff. I love Grandin Road because yes, they're higher dollar. They're definitely a fancier store, but their quality is really good. So I feel like if we're gonna see some unique Summerween pieces, it could be Grandin Road. But I don't know, we'll see. But either way, I'm excited to see their Halloween pieces this year because I got some stuff on clearance last year that was just, it was so good. It was so good. I got those snails. Remember the snails? Oh man, okay. Also, TK Maxx in the UK, saw some Halloween on the Facebook group at TK Maxx last year, saw some pictures from July. And I don't know if TK Maxx is only in the UK. I guess I could Google this. Let me. Okay, UK, Ireland, Germany, Poland, Austria, the Netherlands, and Spain. So TK Maxx is in a bunch of places in Europe. So I guess there you go. So in July, I was seeing in the UK, those were the pictures I was seeing from TK Maxx. So I would say just in general, in July, TK Maxx, be looking for, and I don't know if they have a website too where you can order things or what all that. Maybe one y'all spooky family can fill me in on that. But in Europe, TK Maxx in July. And also I have Bath and Body Works in store early July. So it's somewhere within that first week and a half of July, they're gonna have their in-store goods at Bath and Body Works. Last year I have it that it was July 7th. Also at home after the 4th of July in my area, that's when they start ramping up their Halloween. They really start putting it out. Burlington also after the 4th of July. Also Michael's floral stuff, their pottery, their wreath stuff, all of that came out beginning of July. I also have Kirkland's Halloween after 4th of July. So their full-blown in-store Halloween will be after 4th of July. Scheels also started putting out, I haven't been to Scheels to look at Halloween, but we need to go. They started putting out Halloween as early as when? After 4th of July, but usually by end of July. So I saw some stuff earlier on in July, some stuff at the end. And Hallmark, we already talked about, I did a code orange on the Hallmark Halloween preview, their ornament preview. They have their first launch July 11th through the 19th. That's when the Halloween ornaments come out in store and online, I believe. Also Dollar Tree. I'm gonna put Dollar Tree in July, but Dollar Tree is so all over the place when it comes to locations. I've already seen people posting code oranges of their Dollar Tree because they see boxes coming in. So the boxes for Halloween are already coming in. So every store puts out Halloween at a different time. Some people put it out before 4th of July. Some stores put it out after 4th of July. Some stores, like in my area, don't even put it out until after back to school. And so that's August. So I never know when to predict Dollar Tree because it varies even within the area. One store across town will have it in July. The other store across town doesn't have it till September. You never know what you're going to get with Dollar Tree, but I would say July is when you first start seeing it sprinkle out. Maybe a couple things will come out. So I don't know. I'm saying July for round one of Dollar Tree, and then they kind of slowly trickle it out. And it depends on how much stock is in your store and their staffing and all that kind of stuff. All right, then I have a Home Depot Halloween online release in July last year. So I think just in general, Home Depot is one we have to keep our eye on, because I think you never know, throughout the season, they'll put out some animatronics online. Like they'll do a 12-foot skeleton release, and then they'll release their whole Halloween, and then they'll release just a couple of things, and then their tombstones will come out. And then, so sometimes it's just animatronics, sometimes it's the full decor. So you never quite know what you're gonna get. So I would say check in monthly with Home Depot. Keep an eye on this situation, because Home Depot at any point can make any sort of announcement, do online. They really hone in on those online releases because they get out their in-store stuff so late. So I've got another online release for Home Depot in July. I wouldn't put it past them to do one in June as well. So we'll just put Home Depot on every month. And then Cracker Barrel in store after the 4th of July. Some stores get it out before, but usually it's after 4th of July, like right after. And where the 4th of July stuff was at, they put their Halloween there. And I think they're even gonna do it that way. Even if they do summerween, I still think they're gonna put it out in July with the Halloween stuff. Because I think they'll also put the summerween stuff out in their May online drop. All right, also I have World Market. World Market has stepped up their game, so they're pretty unpredictable at this point. World Market used to put out their Halloween way late, like mid-September late. For some people, you might be like, that's not late at all, but it is late in comparison to other retailers. So World Market, I have end of July. I think that's when they put it out last year, was the mid to end of July. So we'll be watching World Market once again in July. But I don't know if they'll stay in July, if they're gonna move it around at all, but because I think they're still new to bumping up their Halloween. But they had a really good line last year, so we're gonna be looking at World Market. We'll be looking for Halloween in July. Then I also have Ross starting mid to end of July. My Ross in my area really doesn't start ramping it up until after back to school, because I feel like they're just slammed. They get that last rush of people shopping for back to school, end of July, early August. I don't even think they can breathe long enough to put out Halloween, and they probably need the shelf space and floor space for back to school. So I don't blame them there. So I think it just depends on where you're at, but it could be mid to end of July, but I also think they're gonna do Summerween this year. So they may do Summerween early, take a break for back to school, then come in with Halloween. That's what I'd probably predict for Ross, but that might not be every area. So I'd say still check in July. And then Michael's full Halloween by the end of July. Around July 23rd to early August is when they started putting out their full collection. I think it's usually around August for my area when we start seeing in your face full-blown Halloween at Michael's. But I know, once again, every area is different. Some stores, I saw pictures of full-blown Halloween at Michael's at the end of July. Yeah, we're in July. Lord, it's April, everybody. So I saw pictures of full-blown Halloween at the end of July at some Michael's. My area just was not that way. So they put stuff out in August. So it just depends, once again, on your area. So keep your eyes peeled in July for the rest of Halloween at Michael's. But it could definitely go into early August. And then I have Lowe's in-store could start rolling out. Once again, depends on your area. I feel like it is closer to back to school once again in my area, but everywhere is different. Like I was seeing full stores, like pictures of fully stocked stores in July at Lowe's in some areas. And I went to my store and it just had like a scuba guy there, like an underwater Kraken guy or something. And that's all I saw. And it was like coming soon. So every area is different, but start checking end of July at Lowe's, because I think you might be, I don't know, you might get lucky, everybody. Okay, also a continuation of Walmart, because Walmart, like I mentioned before, their Summerween stuff usually doesn't come in my area until after the 4th of July stuff is cleared out. But it's gonna depend on, once again, where you live, how stocked it is, how much room you have in your store, and the areas you have and all that kind of stuff. So I would say you could see, if you don't see Summerween at Walmart in late June, I think we're gonna see it early July if they decide to do it this year, which I think they will. And then Walmart, they start selling their Halloween clothing in late July. So we'll see pajamas, kids clothes, t-shirts, those types of things, socks, all those kind of things at Walmart late July. And then I have Sam's end of July, early August for Sam's Club. So it just once again depends on your area, either end of July or early August. So start checking your Sam's Club end of July, early August. All right, so let's recap for July. For July, we've got Walmart. If your store didn't get Summerween out at the end of June, it'll be after 4th of July. We've got Costco. Once again, if your store didn't get anything at the end of June, it'll be after 4th of July. Another one, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, TK Maxx. They're gonna start getting their Halloween in. So not just Summerween, but actual Halloween in stores. And I love Halloween in July at those stores. That's my favorite time to shop there. Then we have Grandin Road after 4th of July. Bath and Body Works in store near or around 4th of July. And let's see, Burlington after 4th of July. I also have Kirkland's Halloween. So their full-blown in-store Halloween will be after 4th of July. And then Cracker Barrel in-store after the 4th of July. Dollar Tree all over the place. We'll be checking in July, but who knows what we'll see. At Home, Michael's floral stuff at the beginning of July, and then Michael's full-blown Halloween could be at the end of July, but also into August. Hallmark has their big ornament release with the Halloween ornaments July 11th through the 19th, and I think they'll also have some Halloween displays, or at least they're going to start putting out their Halloween displays. Home Depot, we're looking at another online Halloween release in July. I'm hoping they have all their tombstones and everything in that July launch. Shields can start after the 4th, but usually at the end of July. World Market in mid to end of July. Ross starting mid to end of July, although we could see Summerween in July there. But for Halloween, I think it's going to be mid to end of July, if not August. I'm going to be watching Lowe's in store at the end of July because some stores start rolling stuff out. Also at the end of July, I have Sam's at the end of July potentially. So that's my list for July. Hopefully I didn't miss anything if I did. And also add anything from previous months to this list. I already added some things, but you can add, Pottery Barn, like all the fancy stores, they continue to update their sites and add new products throughout the months. Or throughout the season. So continue to check those places. All the places that already came out with stuff, continue to check. Let's move on to August, because August is our next round. Like we have two pretty big surges that happen with Halloween season. One is after the 4th of July. The other one is after back to school. So mid-August. And I have just in August in general, of course, we've got our Spirit Halloween stores. They're coming in, they're taking over Joann's, everybody. Your empty Joann's. I'm laughing because I'm in pain, okay, everybody? I miss Joann with every fiber of my spooky being. It crushes my soul. I desperately want those Halloween boxes back, like the decorative boxes. I'm desperate. But anyway, Spirit Halloween stores start coming out in August. Ross, early August, mid-August, around back to school is when I really start seeing Ross put out a lot of Halloween. Lowe's Halloween in store mid-August in my area, but like I mentioned, start checking anywhere between late July to mid-August for Lowe's in stores because every store is different. Also, speaking of those types of stores, we also have Menards. Menards starts putting their stuff out. If you have a Menards in your area, it's like a home improvement store if you don't have one. Also putting their stuff out after back to school and in August. And what else do I have? Okay, Williams-Sonoma in store. I think we saw their full spooky, like their, what was it called? Spooky Soiree, that whole collection with the witchy plates, August 13th. Around that time, I don't know if we went on the actual date, but it was around that time. Williams-Sonoma had Halloween, but then Pottery Barn Kids didn't have Halloween out yet. So in August, just in general, after back to school, Pottery Barn Kids, Williams-Sonoma, Crate and Barrel, West Elm, Sur La Table, all those fancy stores start getting their Halloween in, and they'll start putting it out after back to school. Anthropology is another one in store. August 7th is when I started seeing visuals of them coming out in store. Then also I have Kohl's in August, usually after back to school. And at least in my area, Bath and Body Works round 2. They usually do a round 2. The last 2 years, last year was Villains, the year before was Stranger Things. So they usually do some sort of spooky round 2. It used to be another round of Halloween, but they haven't been doing that, but I wish they would. So I don't know if it's gonna be another licensed thing this year or it's gonna be, I don't know, more Halloween. I don't know, but they usually get their second round in. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, all your dollar stores after back to school typically is where I see the most. I mean, I'll see some Halloween before that at Dollar Tree, but usually once I get all the school supplies cleared out, that's when I see full Halloween at the dollar stores. Also Tractor Supply, mid-August. Ollie's after back to school, but Ollie's last year was very late. I want to say it was end of August, early September for Ollie's, which is that kind of discount store if you have an Ollie's in your area. They're kind of new, they kind of popped, or they are new to my area kind of. Also CVS, Walgreens, after back to school, once again, they clear out the school supplies, put out Halloween. Sometimes they're closer to Labor Day though for CVS and Walgreens, at least in my area. Sometimes they wait till after Labor Day or closer to Labor Day. Also, Target in August is once again one of those up in the air places. There used to be online launches in August, maybe in early August, so keep your eyes peeled for that just in case. But also Bullseye Playground starts coming out early to mid-August, usually after back to school or around back to school is when I see the Bullseye or their dollar section at Target. And I wouldn't put it past them to put it out slightly earlier. So I don't know if they're gonna do Summerween at Target. This is the big question. If they do Summerween at Target, I think they're gonna do it in the Bullseye Playground. And I think it might be in July. But like after 4th of July, but before back to school, maybe. Or they'll put it as a section of the, like near the 4th of July stuff. So it could be in June. I don't know. But they've been doing some Halloween stuff. They've been doing like off-season Halloween, so like a couple spooky items. So I don't know. So I don't know if Target's gonna participate in Summerween or not. But regardless, their Halloween Bullseye Playground is usually early to mid-August, and depending on the location. And then the Threshold I saw was online August 10th. That tracks. So early August, we usually see some sort of online release. Hide and Eek, Threshold, something like that. Threshold in store usually comes out a little bit earlier than Hide and Eek. So Threshold in store I have mid-August after back to school. And then the main line in store at Target is usually after Labor Day. So it's been like a week into September the last couple of years in my area at least. I think Labor Day is late this year, like September 7th or something like that. So if they're not getting Halloween out till after Labor Day, it's gonna be like mid-September before we even see Halloween in stores at Target. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but being that Labor Day is late, that means they could put it out earlier. And then also after back to school, Five Below, their full-blown Halloween launch will be after back to school. Should we do a recap of August? August was a big one. We've got Spirit stores, we've got Ross, we got Lowe's, Williams-Sonoma, Crate and Barrel, Pottery Barn, Anthropology, all the fancy stores in August. And most of these are after back to school. Almost all of these are after back to school. So, and if your back to school is later, like in September, almost all of these are after the first half of August. So into the second half of August is when we're gonna see most of this stuff. So second week of August and after. Kohl's, Bath and Body Works round 2, all the dollar stores, so Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Dollar Store, all the dollar places. Family Dollar, Menards, Tractor Supply, Ollie's, Walgreens, CVS, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, basically everywhere. Everywhere is putting out Halloween in August. So you are for sure seeing, if you're just wanting to go see Halloween in August and you don't know where to, you're just like, I just want to see it. You can walk into pretty much any store in August and they're gonna have Halloween. Let's move on to September. We don't have a whole lot in September, but I have a continuation of Home Depot, Target, Walmart. Aldi is another one in September to watch because Aldi starts getting their stuff in as we get closer to Halloween. They may have an August launch, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be September for Aldi. IKEA, I forgot to mention IKEA. I want to say it's gonna be August, September for IKEA. I think that's the full, I know I missed some stores. I had to have missed some stores. So if I missed anything, you can mention them down in the comments and predict when you think they're gonna put Halloween out. But for the most part, I think these are the stores we mainly shop at. I'm sure I missed something. There's gotta be a store I missed, probably a big one. I got Spirit Halloween, I got Home Goods and all them. I don't know, but it's probably a big one that we missed and you're gonna be like, Ghoul, you forgot this store. But anyways, that's all right. We covered a whole lot today. I feel like this year is kind of the guinea pig for years to come. Who's putting stuff out early? Who's putting out Summerween and when? How big of a separation are we gonna see between Summerween and Halloween? Is there gonna be a lot of overlap like last year or not really? Are they gonna get their own designated seasons? This year's a very experimental year, I feel like, for everyone. So I'm just excited to be along for the spooky ride. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just so excited to see Halloween in stores and just feel the Halloween spirit out there in the wild, especially in the summer months when it's so, like, it's already, there is a fly the size of a pterodactyl flying around my house right now. And I'm like, I'm not ready for this, everybody. But then also I'm like, I am ready for this because it's 1 month closer, like one season closer to fall. We're almost there, but not really. We've got a whole summer to go. But still, we're here, everybody. We're here. We're talking about Halloween. It is coming up quick. For the first time, we have stuff happening in April, May, like actual things to see in the flesh. I cannot wait. So you know we're gonna be tracking Halloween, Summerween, all the things. We've got so much more to come. So if you're new here, welcome to the spooky family. We're excited to have you. And if you've been around here for a while, welcome back for another season. It's time, everybody. We're gonna be doing this. We're gonna load up good old Mr. Skeleton. We're gonna go out on the hunt. I cannot wait for our first hunt of the year. So yeah, we're gonna be doing all that. And in the meantime, we are doing, I don't know, all sorts. We're just making excuses to be spooky around here at this point. But anyways, that's besides the point. Now we're just jabbing our jaws. I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit. I just ran my mouth for 500 years. But anyways, I had so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Say hey, Ghoul, hey, down in the comments, because you know I love talking to you. And anything else you want to talk about this video, any of your predictions, Summerween, Halloween, what do you predict? Down in the comments. I'll jab our jaws about it. And yeah, anyways, thank you so much for hanging out here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.